Hi guys, my name's Ocean, and yes, Ocean is my real name. I'm actually coming on here because I wanted to share some of the comments that I received on my post about sibling alienation. Through the years that I experienced the abuse I went through, I really thought I was the only one and that nobody would understand what I went through. In the outpour of emotions and stories that people have shared with me, I feel like God has put a calling on my life to be able to be the voice for the ones that have been forgotten and help be the change for the next generation. And I just wanted to come on here today, and I actually wanted to share some of the voices that I got to read, and I just ask you guys to pray for each one of these people too, because if you've ever lived sibling alienation, if you've ever experienced the foster system, adoption, or anything of the sorts, you understand exactly what I'm feeling. And you understand that the voices and the stories and the truths that never got to get told. And I'm just going to start by sharing some of the comments. I'm not going to tell you guys who said them or what was said, or names or anything, but I'm going to share. So this one says, I can relate. I was kept from my brother for years. Luckily, we were fostered by my grandparents, so we were in the same house, so I could sneak out to actually chat with him in the nights. But yeah, I was also held from my dad and mother. Although I never had a bond with my mother, she never really did want to notice me when she met up with me and my sister. But yes, I did have to fight as a young child to see my dad, and yes, he had problems, but all of those issues could have been prevented if there was more love poured into him in the right way. Yes, this is sad, and this is abuse, and I strongly agree with the statement that sibling alienation is abuse. Here's another one, guys. They did the same with my brother. And now 20 years on, it is very strained and sometimes impossible. Because when he has his outburst and takes the slightest thing you say wrong, because he has a clearly wrongly formed idea encased in anger and rage because he was made to feel abandoned. When he was abused in the system, he was made to feel like his family did not care. But we never knew the reality because anything he had endured and complained about was dismissed or shut down. And that it was all in his poorly mind. Now as a family, we know different, but the damage has already been done because there is no going back from it all for him. It makes me emotional, guys, because so many people's lives are affected, and it's so emotional for me. It's so healing to know that the Lord does restore, and he can and will restore. This one says, I feel this so deeply. They did this to me and my siblings too. This one says, my daughter has not seen her brother for years. I have custody of my daughter, and her mom and her ex lost custody of him, and he was taken to foster care. The whole system is broken, and it's the kids that miss out. I'm happy reading your story, and it gives my daughter some hope. That's why I'm talking, because I want to give hope to the kids that are living it. This one says, when I was 8, the teacher asked me why my hair stunk. I told her because we did not have a bathroom floor. She asked me how we went to the bathroom, and I told her we went in a bucket in the bedroom. The state came the very next day, and my parents convinced my siblings that I was the reason they were all taken away. And that has completely ruined their entire relationship with her siblings for her entire life. She's 56 years old, and it's ruined it entirely. Adult, she's 56 years old. And she was a child that was just telling the truth. This one says, I was a kinship caregiver to a 16-year-old female till just after she turned 18. She was nearly 20 now, but I still keep in contact with her. She has siblings in a couple of other states, in Australia, and I always encourage contact with them in every way. It is so important for all siblings to keep contact. This makes my heart so sad. I wish you all the love, light, and healing, you beautiful young souls. It's so beautiful to know that people understand how important it is to keep siblings' relationships alive. This one says, they took 2 of my kids over false accusations, split them up into 2 different counties here in Kentucky. We're devastated. Our daughter is 15 minutes away, and our son is 2 hours and 35 minutes away. He is 6 and nonverbal. I hope they're both okay. We miss them so much. This one says, that's the way they did my kids. They tried to take them away from each other. I got them back, and my son was 2 when they were took. He was a little over 3 when we got him back, and he was telling me, FUB, you're not my boss. I don't have to mind you. That's because you're not allowed to discipline kids in the foster system. But this one says, I spent 5 years fighting for my siblings to live with me. As a family member who did nothing wrong, the corruption I went through was truly eye-opening. It changed my whole world. From social workers lying about things that had happened to very sloppy work, leading to months adding to your case, paperwork being lost. They eventually told me I would have no more visits and my siblings would be adopted out. I never stopped fighting, and I won 5 years later. Now that is so beautiful. She won. Don't give up. Your kids deserve you to keep fighting for them and sharing with them how much you love them every chance you get. Oh, so beautiful. Your siblings, I'm so happy that your siblings got to come live with you. This lady says, too familiar with this story, but I never got the right attorney to help me. In fact, the attorney that they provided ended up in jail himself. So all I can say is bad things happen to good people, and I'm not going to read the rest of that comment, but yes, bad things do happen to good people. And then this one says, I absolutely agree. It is such a shame. Also a shame that a lot of our country doesn't not even know or see the corruption that is happening. This lady said, I was a good mom. I had a career and I had a home and I never got in trouble. I even helped CPS and came to help other families in visits. I would share how I have navigated the case so far as siblings, and they're still made up complete lies about me. I will never trust any social worker after what I went through. I'm so sorry. Even good attorneys are not good as long as they work together. This one says, I could say this about my siblings. They were adopted. Their adopted parents don't let us talk to them. Last time I heard, my sister is disliking me because their adopted mom is making up lies and has killed our relationship. I actually experienced that. My brother was adopted when he was 9 or 10, and because there was parentification, what they call parentification is like, I wanted to be my brother's mom. Doesn't every other kid that's the older sister in the family? But my brother would act out after visits with me. So when he was getting adopted, his adopted mom didn't like how he treated her after visits with me because he wanted me and not her. And so that slowly deteriorated the relationship until there was no more over years of manipulating a child to believe that their siblings don't love them, and their siblings don't care about them, their siblings don't want to call them, you know, telling them those kind of things and feeding those kind of lies into a child's mind, you know, putting conditions on love is not okay at all. If you have to tell your child that their siblings are not their siblings anymore because they were adopted, that's abuse. My brother was 10 years old. He had a life with his 3 siblings prior to being adopted, and he knew all of us very well. We were his entire life. Yes, we went in the system when he was younger than 9, but we still stayed very close in contact. My CASA worker made sure to always keep us in contact. The contact stopped when the adopted family stopped the contact. It was not by CPS's choice. My CASA did stay actively trying to get information to know that he was well, to be able to tell me he was just well. All I wanted to know is if he was well. I respected their boundaries, that, you know, the alienation was just all in my head at that time, and that, you know, he was a little boy and he needed to grow and have a good family, and I prayed that they would be a good family. But now that he's an adult and he's sharing his truth with me and he's scared to love me, how can you make someone scared to love? That's not okay. Not okay at all. So I'm going to get off here. I just wanted to share some stories with you guys that I've recently got the pleasure to read, and I hope that you guys also come in prayer in agreement with me that every single person that has shared and spoke up their stories, that they will receive healing, that the Lord will touch them and heal them, because all we have are our voices, guys. We are the change. Continue to share your stories and continue to speak out of what you've experienced so somebody else can learn from it and change their behaviors. I just thank you all for coming on here. Y'all have a great day. I appreciate you all. Bye.